So, last we left off, you guys were finishing up your various errands within the city of Royas, talking to the folks at the Katia Institute of Magic, as well as meeting a couple of new people from the College of Art, including a nice gentleman in the theater department who seemed to be willing to allow you to buy some of the old costumes that they weren't using anymore in the hopes that you guys would be able to fashion them into something fancy or presentable, depending on the character and what vibe you're going for the masquerade ball. From there, you guys returned to the house, whereupon you met with Aldrich and his apparently long-distance girlfriend, Thalia. The two of them were able to share a little bit about their own history as an adventuring party and how that there were different people trying to summon demons in order to sow as much chaos as possible. And their party eventually obtained the Wand of Orcus, which they took to the city of Alperin, in the hopes that it would be kept out of reach there. Aldrich was also able to share a little bit more about the city of Alperin, including the fact that they seem to have an entire quarter of the city dedicated to Mistra. And that is where we're picking up. You are technically scheduled this evening to go pick up a sword from a creepy child. But if you decide to actually go for it, that's on you.
I guess it's on me. How would Valk go about this? Because she knows she's in trouble. Honestly, does anybody have anything else they want to do this evening? Because Valk would procrastinate the ever-loving shit out of this.
Let's see the list of what people wanted to do.
The list of things people wanted to do is going to take place over a week in game time.
Well, sounds like people are.
The sword is the most pressing thing.
So what time is it post-dinner?
It's about, I would say, 8 o'clock.
I think before the end of last session, Demir and Lish did go, off on their way.
Yes, you guys had wandered off to do sexy warlock practices.
Well, that's going to make this more fun.
Teaching her how to pop a zinger and launch a baseball bat bogey out of the park with magic.
Well, I guess shortly after Aldrich and his low commitment, long distance girlfriend person, Valk would kind of very quietly knock on the door to your guys' room.
Lish will come to the door and break it open.
Please, mister, could you take me to pick up my son? No. I just couldn't resist. So Valk's in, veil and habit stuff and is kind of very obviously awkwardly standing there. It's just like, is there any chance you can still help me get to the sword this evening?
Now that is a good question.
Mm.
He's just kind of standing there with his hand on the door, just kind of looking at you expectantly.
No, I know that. Valk knows that. I'm having to process it through my autism and her autism, so give me a moment. uh, sorry. While I don't entirely regret what I said, I do really regret how I said it. It very much could have been handled better, and I owe both you and Demir an apology.
You hear Demir from like over towards the bed, like, are you only apologizing because you want something, or are you actually sorry?
Can my answer be both?
Only if you actually want the thing that you want.
I'm sorry, what?
Only if you actually want the thing that you want can it be both.
Yes, I want to make the apology. However, I wouldn't have done it this soon unless if we didn't have the prior obligation.
Well, perhaps your apology can be pretty enough to rectify that. I'd like to hear it.
As always, you were right, and I should have waited until all the information was put before me before I reacted. And I'm sorry that I reacted the way that I did to both you and Demir. I should have trusted Demir too. Fuck, I don't know how to say it without it sounding backhanded.
Think carefully.
Demir kind of pokes her head under like Lish's shoulder a little, like, hmm?
How closed are you both right now, by the way?
Demir is hidden behind the door. You don't know how close she is.
Demir is capable of making her own choices that will be good for the rest of the party and herself.
I'm just imagining Lars's like cringing, hopeful face on her face, like ah, ah.
Just like, this is an interpersonal minefield that I was not ready to deal with yet, but I have obligations that require me to do it.
Lish just kind of looks down at Demir. I mean, it's your apology, darling.
I mean, I think for me, the bigger issue is not so much that I need to be making any decisions for myself or for the greater good of the party or anything like that, but rather that a decision that was made for me or in the heat of the moment was given such weight. I did not know what I was entangled with, and neither did any of you. I don't need to be blamed for that.
I hold no blame for you or your actions. My words were out of concern for you and the dangers of dealing with certain individuals that say they are doing the right thing for you, but are just using you for your own ends or their own ends.
No, really, and we've never encountered any of those. Because I'm sure Baba Yaga is acting out of the charity of her heart.
It is good for you to be concerned, Valkyria. Perhaps, as you say, in the future, let's talk through it first.
That is fair. I'm just
Wants your cool sword back.
no. After Lawkeeper Dorvslav, I am extra cautious with dealing with unknowns promising something when their intents can so easily be ill.
I'm trying to remember out of character. Do we know much about this Lawkeeper guy? I don't think we really know that much, do we?
No, Valk
Just
has
on the
not
screen.
talked that much about him, but you do kind of have a flashback to the dream
Yeah.
and Valk's righteous fury at someone kind of flashes in your mind.
Yeah. So Lish kind of like his head kind of tweaks to the side, hearing her say that. And just like, oh, how so?
Didn't Runa Grace also mention something about like being indoctrinated or something close to it too? I think Demir
Yeah.
specifically, but
Yeah.
Yeah, she talked about the whole cult dealy bopper.
right.
Sorry, what did Lish say? I got distracted by Demir.
He just kind of tilts his head to the side a little bit and says, oh, really? In what way?
A person in power offering to help, but with their own ambitions that will ultimately make you disposable to them. I do not have the words to properly describe what growing up with him was like.
I would be interested in hearing you try. It's torture Lars hours.
Yes, it is.
Make Valkyria eat that shoe of hers.
Well, she's munching and crunching to the best of her ability. She's about down to the soul.
Must really want that sword.
Well, the souls will all get apologies, start.
Like we can do this right here in the hallway, or we could take it to the bathtub, whichever one.
This is truly more bathtub therapy talk.
Well, the bath is through here.
No, you didn't say that.
So kind of Valk becomes unearthly still as she can sometimes. While he always appeared to be kind to me, he did it in such a way that isolated me from my peers even more so than ever did. And he used my appearance as divine proof of the God's blessings of his will. and he had the will of a evil old man. And ultimately, he is the reason why I am cautious around seats of organized power, and particularly religious power, and why I strive so hard to make the world better, because I want to be the person I needed then. Am I good at it yet? Kind of gestures, obviously not, but I am trying.
Hmm. Kind of just kind of looks at you thoughtfully.
The longer you stare, the more you can see Val kind of just slowly shrinking in on herself.
He doesn't stare for too long. He'll look back down to Demir.
Demir looks back up at him and just. If you want to take Valkyria to her sword, that is certainly something you can do. I am going back to bed.
Well, he'll give her like a smooch on the forehead and look to Valkyria. Like, tonight or
I suppose one more day in the dirt wouldn't hurt a magic sword. Or we could go tonight, whatever your preference is. You're doing the favor to me.
Demir is absolutely like slinking back behind the door and 100% showing her butt to Lish.
perhaps in the morning.
Thank you, Lish. At which point Valk just kind of
As she is kind of starting to head away, he'll just be like, "Good night, Valkyria. Let's talk again soon."
enjoy your evening. At which point, like, she's not quite all the way around a corner, but like the moment she's mostly around a corner, you could tell that she just fucking starts sprinting.
Fucking get me out of here.
Yep.
All right. Are there any other conversations you'd like to have this evening?
I've got something I want to do here.
Before sleep. All right.
This is something I was going to do earlier, but I forgot completely somehow. God forbid, once you realize what I'm going to do. Hawk is going to go find Sniv.
All right.
Is he even awake at this hour? That's a good question.
He is awake. He is in his rage room reading Valk's smut books that he stole.
Oh God, I forgot about that. He's just gonna like knock. Sniv, I've got something for you.
Door open. Is it food?
I mean, depends on your perspective, but I was hoping you would actually want this for shade. And he holds over, he like sort of drapes down from his hand, like sort of offering the massive sun hat that he returned with.
He just snatches it and like turns it over in his hands like this a few times, and then puts it directly on his face.
A little higher.
All right, and so Sniv is now wearing the giant ass sun hat.
Hell yeah! Give your kobold shade. Their dark vision needs it.
Yeah.
That's all.
You guys have
That's
been
all I had
making
in
him
mind.
walk around in the sun this whole time.
Not even giving him badass sunglasses.
Mhm.
SMH.
All right.
I will now remove big capital BIG big sun hat from my inventory.
All right. Any other conversations you'd like to have before sleep?
I forgot about the books. This is about the time that Valk would be realizing that the books are gone.
All right. Are you going to do anything about it?
Yeah, because she needs her comfort books.
He didn't take all of them, just some of them.
So Valk like is going through her library going, okay, what comfort book do I hold the phone? Where is that book? At which point she like checks her rucksack, she checks her uh trunk. There we go. I was trying to say tub and I was like, that's not right. At which point she's just like, is it my demonic person, or is it my bundle of chaos, or is it the two kids who are the bundle of chaos? Yeah. Valk kind of pads on down to, do Levy and Aaron, not Aaron, do Levy and Toby share a room, or do they have their own rooms? I can't remember.
They share a room.
They share a room that's connected to Demir and Lish's room via the bathroom.
Ah, yes, the couple's suite.
The thruple, no, the quadruple.
The polycule
Yeah.
ensuite. Yeah.
So Valk returns to the hallway of doom and gently knocks on Levy and Toby's door.
Levy will get up and answer it since Toby is not here yet, but that's okay. Buys Kenny time to show up so that Levy can be like, can we go Rick shopping tomorrow? But yeah, she'll open the door. She's in her little comfy house clothes, all bundled up in a robe.
Valk is just in her totally not a bootleg version of the Netflix Geralt day clothes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
You can tell that Levy's just a little bit like not the happiest to see Valk. Like she's like, oh, it's Valk. That's about it.
Hey,
her eyebrows raise in question, just like it. Yes.
Couple books are missing from my room. Is that something that the kids would do, or should I be going to talk to my own agent of chaos?
Did the kids have any issues leaving other people's shit alone?
Not really. Like they would uh be kind of curious about the stuff put in other people's rooms, but they wouldn't really go digging through other people's stuff.
Right. Okay.
Or leave evidence
she's
that
so
they
powerful.
did.
All right. Well, maybe shakes her head like, no, no, the kids. I mean, they're curious about what's behind everybody's doors, but they wouldn't go snooping like that, I don't think. Not that I saw, at least. If they did,
After
they'd be much sneakier about it to the point where I don't think we'd be noticing.
fair, just after this morning, I'm trying to avoid making accusations without all the information on the table.
At that, Levy kind of does one of those slow, like, you know, when your mom is kind of taking something in and she does that slow up and down nod of like, uh-huh, like she was waiting for you to come to a conclusion about something. Yeah, she does one of those. Just a slow incline of her head and then a drop of it, like, yeah, that's a good course of action for you to take, I think.
Valk is doing her best. It isn't very good, but she's trying.
She's working on it. And you can see, like, there's a little uptick to, like, the corners of her mouth. Like, she's pleased that Valk is doing these things on her own. She's trying to keep herself more or less contained with any of her respective feelings on things because she's not directly involved necessarily in like the slights Volk is committed against other people. She's just kind of here, and I mean, I'm not gonna make you do an insight check on her. She's not gonna hide anything. It's not really her MO. At least at this point. But she's very like she's not pleased to kind of feel in the middle of Volk's blunders right now because they happen to be other booze.
Yeah.
Kind of puts her in a situation, a position, if you will.
Also, since Toby just appeared, Valk's making a tour of apologies if you want to jump on the bandwagon.
Hi, yes, I was fighting for my life.
Mood.
You're good.
Sure, yeah, I'd like to jump on the bandwagon of. Is Valk seeking people out or?
Well, it's partially a joke. She already apologized to Demir and Lish for her actions towards Demir's decision-making capabilities, I think is how I want to phrase that. And then since Sniv stole her books, she went to Levy to ask if that's something the kids would do before, accusing the kids, because he's trying to be better.
Okay. Sure, yeah, Tobias would be I guess it's a matter of Tobias would, if Valk is not approaching Tobias for anything, Tobias will approach her when she has a moment, almost
She's at the door.
begrudgingly. Huh?
She's at the door. She's currently talking to Levy at their bedroom door.
Oh, that I will wait for that conversation to be done.
Just that little extra context for you.
Well, the conversation was just finishing up.
Your timing was actually impeccable.
Yeah.
But yeah, Levy will go. That's good. Yeah, no. As far as what you came to ask, yeah, I would go looking for Sniv for your lost books there. The kids, I don't think they do that, and if they did, I don't think we'd notice. At least not to that magnitude.
Okay, just wanted to check. I haven't had the chance to get to know them.
No, yeah, that's
that
totally
well.
fair. I don't mind being their ward. Obviously, I brought them in.
Yeah, I just didn't want a repeat of sticking my foot in my mouth like this morning.
Right. She's kind of looking at Volk like, what are you gonna do next? Just the trepidation of like, because when the autism clash, Levy's just like, what are you doing next? Are you gonna ask for Toby? Are you gonna go down the hall? Because she doesn't, I mean, I presume that she didn't hear the first stop on the tour to apology.
No, well, I already apologized to Demir and wait, no. She said that she apologized to Demir and Lish during the conversation.
Oh,
I
fuck.
think.
If you did, I'm sorry for going.
Let's pretend I did.
Okay, cool. Fuck it, retcon. But yeah, Levy will be like, it's good of you to apologize. No, you did mention that. Ha! I remember. In no small part to the DM nodding sagely at us through the screen. Thank God.
It's a morning.
It's a morning. Yeah. Well, my brain's not fucking working. Levy's just like anyways, it's good of you to, I guess, do the rounds. Did you want to talk to Toby at all? Hinting that she knows that Bulk has something to apologize to Toby for. Hinting as in
Bulk
hitting her
doesn't
in the face
know.
with a 2x4.
I do.
I guess it's a question better asked. Toby, dear.
Oh, is Levy? Oh, they're in the bedroom?
Yeah.
At the door still.
At the door still. She'll call into the room.
Tobias will have been sitting in his corner, carving.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's been silent this whole time, head down, like clearly not giving any attention to the conversation, probably noticeably on purpose. And then when Levy calls his name, you distinctly hear the sounds of the wood carving stop. And then he just kind of like lifts his head a little and peers over his shoulder at her.
Again, she's not putting on any kind of airs or act. She's openly like concerned, I guess, for Toby because he's tense.
Smart.
And
I don't want to do this.
yeah. And she's just like, come on, can we please? She's just like, Sugar, do you want to talk to Volk?
He deflates a little at that before finally kind of just letting it aside, putting down his tools and the wood carving stuff he was working on before stepping over to the door.
He gets there, she will go up on her tippy toes to give him a little kissy on the cheek. And then stand slightly off to the side so that she's still there. Obviously for him, but yeah.
Valk's just like, the one person I have to look up to.
Keep looking. Tobias is pointedly not looking at Valk, like his eyes are more, directed off to the side, avoiding eye contact and stuff, as he says, I didn't much care for the joke that you made at the tavern.
How would Valk react to that? Because she's a fucking idiot.
What? It's just a joke!
Basically, it's just like, I thought I was supposed to make fun of you guys.
That wasn't funny. Not to me. I don't understand how making a joke about the fact that my parents don't love me is funny.
When you phrase it like that, I can see how that would be cruel. At which point, Valk kind of shifts her weight between her 2 feet, and you can kind of see a look go across, well, what you can see of her face, like, fuck it. And just kind of fucking bear hugs Toby, and it's just like, I'm really, 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 really sorry. I should know better, considering my own familiar issues. And
Valk feels when she does the bear hug, she feels him visibly tense and jolt, kind of as if his hand meant to push her away before he stops himself. And then just lets it happen and lets her say what she wants to say to him.
I know it's not the same, but I really do view you as family, and I wouldn't want to hurt you on purpose. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
If Valk looks up at Tobias's face, you can see that it looks like he's visibly trying to hold back from saying anything / immediately relenting. Like he's trying to make himself stay mad. But it's slowly a failing battle. And then he glances over at Levy for a moment before telling Valk, I was jealous of you.
Valk looks even more confused than she did when Levy said that she had something to say to Toby. Just done qua. Why would you be jealous of me?
Because your mother wanted you. And the first opportunity she had to reach out, she did. She welcomed you back with open arms. Told you that you have a home with her. You even get to take her last name again. But I don't get to have any of that. I grew up knowing that neither of my parents wanted me. That it was better for me to just walk off into the woods to die than to be a burden to them. That is why the joke hurt.
Oh, fuck. How would Valk say this? Really having to use the brain this morning, damn it.
You're welcome.
um
Me eating my breakfast, smiling.
the third person to put Valk through her paces. Oh.
Meanwhile, Levy is just, she stepped back for the bear hug, but she's kind of wedged herself up against Tobias in the aftermath, and she just looks so pleased. She's being a little supportive girlfriend / fiance. LOL.
Everyone's experiences are different, but up until literally last week, I was willing to give away all my memories of my mother to help you. And wanting to help you hasn't changed at all. You deserve to have a family that loves you. And I'm sorry for the first years of your life that you didn't. But then there was Off-Sea and now us. If you want a last name, why don't you take Off-Sea's or Levy's or mine?
Tobias's expression goes very soft at that. Smile manages to quirk its way onto his lips despite his best efforts to keep it neutral. And he says, one thing that's been made abundantly clear by all of you is the fact that I'm surrounded by people that love and care about me. And I suppose it's making up for lost time. And better yet, I'm surrounded by people that actually apologize.
I'm sorry it took so long.
It's better than never. As for a last name,
Tobias Grace or Tobias Off-Sea's son both have good rings to it.
technically it's Tobias Gehemelt. But, you know, haven't really had time to use it or reason to use it. As for Off-Sea's, I see him as my father, but I worry that I'm not good enough for his name yet.
At that, Valk literally just picks up Toby and goes, "You are good enough."
Levy looks at Bob like, why? And then kind of tucks Toby back down, like, stop picking my man up.
I'm sorry, but what is a mummy muscle supposed to do besides uppies?
Nope.
I just imagine like Valk when she goes to lift Tobias up because how tall he is, she only just lifts him up like an inch or two off the ground.
But it still gets the point across.
She tries to lift him up and he just goes on tippy toes for her.
There's only the power in a name that we give it. And if you want to be Toby, gotta read it because brain issues. Toby Gemimeld. You can be Gemimeld. You can be that man, or you could be whoever you want to be. That's all our own decisions to make. You have to let other people make that decision for you.
Levy kind of
what I've been doing all these years.
Levy kind of goes and seems to think for a second, and then she goes, "Oh, and here I was hoping he'd take mine."
Giving you a fucking opening. Take it.
Maybe I will. There's still time.
Indeed, there is. And she's gonna. So sorry, Bog. She's gonna look so dewy-eyed, adoringly up to Toby, and go, the invitation's open forever. You can take it if you want. Whenever. So I'm not sure Tobias Beck really has like that, like the ring to it. Which, by the way, we do need to get those.
Right. I don't know why I thought it would be farther away, but you do make a good point.
Oh shit. I still haven't told Debbie. Like it just hit her.
Old
She
Demir,
did tell
what?
Demir.
No, did she tell Deborah that she proposed to Toby and he said yes?
Yeah,
Telepathy
she did.
in the
We're
ring
in the
shop.
jewelry shop.
Okay.
We had a whole telepathic conversation, and Demir was helping you pick out rings.
I'm having a
You guys were
terrible
staring
morning with
deeply into
this.
each other's eyes while everyone else was like,
Hello?
what just happened?
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
No, it's good. It's been a long couple weeks.
You haven't told Lish, though.
I haven't told Lish! Retcon, Levy says, oh shit! I haven't told Lish!
Old Lish, what?
That I proposed to Toby and he said yes! Not that you're going anywhere. Unless you want to. She points to Volk. Poor Volk.
Yeah, that another situation where I had to figure out what Balk would do. Thank you. Anybody else want to come at me this morning?
You brought it upon yourself, my friend.
Valk goes, congratulations, you two. So it sounds like a conversation on last names is indeed in order. And
Mackenzie has lost power, if you guys see the chat. So even though she's still in the Zoom somehow, I don't think she is seeing any of this.
Let's say that Tobias is blue screening right now.
Toby's blush has overtaken him, and he must return to the fainting couch for a moment.
Besides, Valk's literally just about to like bail because of stuff. So it's just like, congratulations, you two. I'm gonna go find Sniv and just
That sounds great. Loki gonna follow her, but she's only gonna go to Lish and Demir's store. After depositing a kiss on blue screen Tobias's cheek and like patting him back off to his carving.
You hear like a kind of semi-muffled, "Who is it?"
Not
Is
Paul.
Levy coming through the front door or the bathroom door?
Fuck it, bathroom door. I haven't used the bathroom door yet. Might as well. I
mean, you can just come right in if you want.
Yeah,
Levy
the bathroom door is unlocked.
Levy is so polite, please.
Hear a muffled, "Who is it?"
Like
Well,
a half a beat later, you hear another muffled. I think that's the upper door.
Like a kind of like
groan and like sitting up, and Lish will go to the door and open it.
You didn't
Hello?
have to get up. You could have just told me to come in.
Well, the gentleman opens the door. How can I help you?
Toby and I are engaged. Where's that out?
Lish just kind of like is like, oh, is that the case? Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm realizing I've been dragging my feet on telling people. Also, Monk apologized to Toby for making that off-color joke about his parents not loving him, so that's real nice. She told me she stopped by your door too. She seems to be having some kind of like mental moment of like the past like 10 minutes of just crashed together in her brain like a fucking train derailment.
Lish just kind of
And you're
nods.
just sitting up on the bed, shin hands, like.
Sorry.
Lish just kind of opens the door a bit more, like, would you like to come in?
Yeah. I still call back to Toby that she's gonna go spend time with Lish and Demir, and I mean to come on over if you want.
Yeah, I mean, Lish will look over her shoulder, like, would you like to come over? Joining us?
I think Toby might still be blue screen.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Mackenzie got her internet back yet.
Hang on.
You probably hear from her in Discord first.
There we go. I have sent a message.
There we go.
Please hold.
And we're walking, and we're walking.
And we're turning, pivoting.
Do, 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 do,
Doing ballerina
do,
spins in the
do,
hallway
do.
now.
Is anybody else getting fun gusts of wind that pelt the snow against their windows?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not against the windows.
I'm getting some crazy gusts of wind between me and the house next to me.
Yeah.
So it's just like all white out the window.
Yeah, while we were eating breakfast, that happened outside our window. But our house is perpendicular to the wind. The wind's blowing, so it's hitting like the one side of our house that doesn't have windows on it.
I haven't been that lucky.
I wouldn't call it luck.
Yeah.
I do for me. I love winter and
Listen,
snow and cold.
I'm also a winter child. Lish stole me as a baby. No, I also love the snow, but I do also realize that snow is probably one of the worst things that can happen over here.
Oh, it ain't much better in Western Washington, bud.
I believe
infrastructure
you.
is bad.
Yeah, no, I swear that the city planners over here just assumed that it would never snow.
Yeah, I mean, we are also on like extinct volcano land over here, so like even
not
if
sure
there
what we
was
were
the
expecting.
assumption of snow like built into city planning, there's not much you can do about the fact that we have mountains everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's say that Toby and Levy join Lish and Demir. They all
Demir's like
lovely
kind of. Oh, I was going to say like Demir kind of begrudgingly starts reaching for a robe.
Oh no! Levy will get comfortable with Demir. Teehee.
Oh, you want some magic lessons too?
All right.
I wasn't prepared. Oh, fade to black. Thank you.
Ah,
Next day.
Fade to black.
Hey!
So Vault, you go and find Ziv. He took 3 books from your room. The first one is called Romance for Hire, and it's about this wealthy woman whose husband is away on business, and she's all alone in her house, and she hires this rugged tiefling worker to help her around the house, and the two of them have a passionate and sordid affair. The next one is called The Cleric's Secret, in which it's, you know how in movies when everyone has a fatal illness, they show no symptoms whatsoever.
Yeah.
Kind of, the Cleric's Secret is about one of those kinds of illnesses. Someone goes to a cleric to see about it, and he tries his best to treat her, but she knows that she's going to die soon, and so they have this brief romance before she dies. And then the last book is called Sins of the Night, and it's about this woman who is alone and in the rain, and her carriage is crashed, and she goes to this castle and finds this beautiful woman with red eyes and dark hair, and who only mysteriously seems to be awake at night.
Well, I guess Sniv's got good taste. But yeah, so
he begrudgingly gives the books.
No, it's just like, hey buddy, you got something there?
He just looks at you and like reluctantly hands the book back, and then kind of like tilts the giant hat he's now wearing over his eyes.
When he hands the books back, Valk like squats down, and it's just like, you can borrow them if you ask, right?
That takes the fun out of it.
Well, you have permission to steal my books then, as long as it's not the one I'm currently reading, and you leave them intact. Deal? Valk puts out her hand.
He takes your hand and kind of looks you over and says,
"You were acting weird earlier."
Yeah, I was.
I put a bunch of feathers back in your pillow.
Thank you. They were not coming out of my pillow. I'm going through my molt early, and as far as acting strange, I kind of got stuck while I was trying to commune with the gods.
Can I keep this one then?
and he pulls out one of your feathers.
Of course, you're welcome to keep it. I have no need of them once they are off my head.
He ties it to his belt.
Well, would you continue to or would you like to keep reading any of these? The books she has.
No, they were pretty quick reads, to be honest with you. Even though they're in common.
Yeah, they're some of my favorite comfort books.
Do you want better books?
No, everyone has their own tastes. Maybe next time we go to Ooks, we can get you another book for you.
Can I get a potion book?
Of course, I'll make sure that happens for you. Something to share with your lady love back in insert a town here.
Well, I mean, I like to make things. She can read it when I'm done, I guess. If she wants.
That's fair. If you ever want to send a letter or a message to her, or if you want to go for a visit, just let me know and I'll make sure it happens. Okay, buddy?
And he nods.
Well, I hope you have a good evening.
All right. Any other conversations that would like to be had this evening? Cool. Volk, I'm not done with you yet. I'm sorry.
Why?
So you all head to bed and begin to rest. And Volk, you have a dream that you are a child again. You are standing outside, and the wind is blowing, and you seem to be standing at the base of a mountain. And next to you, the law keeper, looking as you remember him looking, tall, human, imposing in comparison to you and your younger stature. He encourages you to begin to climb the mountain. And without thinking about it, you begin to do so.
I was wondering if this was one of those ride-along dreams or if it was a lucid dream.
A bit of both. We'll get to the lucid part.
Because if it was lucid, even baby Valk would start throwing hands.
You start to climb the mountain. You follow the path. And very quickly, the mountain gets very steep. But you climb anyways. And you climb. You climb. And as you climb, you grow. You lose your downy feathers, and eventually your adult feathers come in, and you continue to climb, and it becomes more treacherous as you get upwards. What do you do to ensure that you don't fall?
As I'm morphing into adult, do I gain all my adult equipment, or am I in weird nebulous land of dream?
Weird nebulous land of dream. You only have yourself.
Is the mountain cold?
It's pretty chilly, yeah.
Valk kind of sighs at the cold and the wind and goes, fuck it, you gotta do what you gotta do. It takes off her boots, and as she does, her knuckles kind of crack, and her toenails that aren't toenails but talons are able to get a better grip on the ground. And her fingers kind of do the same thing, and she kind of whatever she can grab as she's walking, making sure she grabs with her hands as well.
Okay. I'd like you to make an athletics check.
Ooh. I have new things for that. Let's see. Athletics is that. Except for I have a new bonus that I need to look up real quick. Give me a moment, guys. Sorry. Because new things have happened. Sorry. Bam. Okay, I would like to channel divine magic to be a peerless athlete for the next 10 minutes. And now I need dice. Advantage. And lift twice as much weight. Oh, and I can jump an additional 10 feet. And I roll like shit. 15.
15? Okay. You're able to push through for a while. But it's cold. You can feel it biting at your face, at your feet. You push on, and as I said, the mountain is getting steeper. It is getting more difficult to climb. And you know you have to reach the top. And you, in the distance, a short distance away from you, you can see a rope.
Does this count as low light? Is it late enough?
Yes.
Am I able to do that this level, or is that a next level thing? I need to double check. I am sorry, people. Because all sorts of new shit. Okay, I use Steps of the Night, and the darkness kind of caresses around me, and I lift up off the ground, and I have a fly speed equal to my walking speed to get to the rope.
Okay. Do you grab the rope?
Yes.
Okay. So when you grab the rope, it makes it easier to continue on this path and to climb. But almost immediately, just anger starts to fill you. Like, you find yourself reflecting on the anger you feel against enemies when in combat. Not necessarily like a barbarian rage, but just this righteous fury, and the time that you've these various times that you've felt this righteous fury. And you can also see yourself shouting at Demir about Shar. You are using this rope to climb. And while these memories fill your mind, the rope begins to fray, and you see it as what it truly is. It's fear, not anger. And you're continuing to hold on to this, but your grip is starting to fail you. I'd like you to make another athletics check.
That would be a 10.
All right. So, as the rope frays away completely, you're about to lose your balance and fall off of the mountain when you feel something reach out to you and grasp your forearm to hold you steady. Do you hear a voice whisper to you that sounds similar to that of your mother? This calm, caring, and kind voice, and it whispers to you, Valkyria, this is not all on you. You do not have to do this alone. And as you're pulled up, you see the rest of the wild roses on the path with you. And together, they help you make your way to the peak of the mountain. And that is it.
Val cries in the dream.
All right. Is there anything anyone would like to accomplish immediately in the morning?
I suppose we're gonna go to a fucking sword, eh?
I guess that is the plan.
All right. Who all is going back to Iera?
I think it's just Vulcan Lish, unless anybody else wants to come.
I don't remember if it was in character, but I think it was suggested that Valkyria's mother could help Hawk with the sort of suit refurbishing, tailoring, rather. I don't remember, though.
Grace does work at the local tailor shop called So It Seems. You met the owner there. Her name is Misty Powell. Half-elf lady.
Well, I didn't meet her, but yes. Or rather, Hawk didn't meet her.
You as in you all, you the
Yeah,
party.
right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
But
So
didn't
is he
Val
gonna
talk to
pop up or?
Hawk about that her mom is a seamstress and could help?
I mean,
Can't remember.
that's what I think happened, but I'm not 100%.
Let's just
I
pretend it did.
remember the conversation happening, so it happened in game, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was in character or not.
Well, we can retcon if not.
Well, if Valkyria offers to, because like Hawk doesn't know that this trip is happening right now.
Valk's just like to Lish, one moment. I believe Hawk wanted to speak with my mother when we went back to town.
Is he planning on staying there for longer than a few minutes?
I
good
don't
point.
know. At which point Valk tracks down Hawk and is just like, Hey, me and Lish are making the trip to Ira?
Yeah.
Haha. And so, if you wanted to quickly chat with my mom, now's your opportunity.
Oh, he's in the middle of checking these glass globes inside all of the potted plants in his room. And he's like, well, yeah, I guess it's good to use some tips. Just a moment. He opens up this armoire that he's got in there and pulls out the sort of like mid quality, probably not quite, suit that he's borrowed from the theater. Bought, right. Yeah, that he got from the theater. And sort of just like neatly folds it and stows it under his arm. He's like, right, you're heading out now then.
That was Lish's plan.
All right, I'll make sure
Since
it's quick.
He's kind enough to sponsor this trip.
I'll make sure to thank him. All right.
Well, Lish will drag y'all out to the big tree in the graveyard and we'll go.
All right.
All right. So Lish casts the spell, and you all step through the tree and arrive in Yera. You may recall that Octavia, double checking real quick. Yes, Octavia said that she would return the sword to you by an old twisted tree at the edge of town. Do you head there first, or do you go to So It Seems?
If the tree is alive, Lish is just gonna pop us out right there at that tree. We went to
Tree
look
is
at
not
it.
alive.
Boo. Was there one that was alive near it? Because we went and we found it.
Yeah, there
see
were a few
faster
trees
route.
close by. All right, so you pop out of one of those, and you approach this old, like, dead, twisted tree. It looks kind of like the creepy trees from Over the Garden Wall. There's dirt on the ground near it, and you can see sticking through one of the lower branches is your sword. Lish, can you roll a perception check, please?
Yeah. 23. My passive is also 25 too.
Nope. Sounds.
Well, looks like we just lost Demir.
Yep. Anyway. Lish, you notice that just from the way that the dirt is disturbed on the ground, it seems like there was someone here recently. They had paced around for a while, like they were waiting. But then eventually departed.
Well, she knows how to contact me if she gets the ability.
Was it wee people feet or big people feet?
I mean, humanoid medium sized.
The daughter sized human feet.
Yeah.
Daughter.
You get the impression she was expecting you to show up last night and then decided that you weren't going to show that evening, stuck the sword in the tree, and then went on her merry way.
Whoops.
We didn't say we were going to meet her. She said she'd bury it. So we can always find each other.
Mm-hmm. Well, Valk grabs the hilt of her sword and just shunk with a mighty pull.
All right. You pull it out, no problem. The girl is a teenage sorcerer. She's not that strong.
By
You
the
get the
power of
impression
Grayskull.
she
At
just
last the
stuck
rightful
it in for dramatic effect.
At last the rightful queen of Viera rises.
Ye mad.
Could I take a second to see if I can't get a druid craft a flower to come up out of the tree?
All right. What kind of flower do you druid craft?
One of our little blue daisy flowers that we have been using to mark ourselves.
All right. Dandelion, and then
Yes.
someone with prestidigitation turns it blue.
Does one of us got prestidigitation? Okay, yeah.
I still have it.
Prestidigitation.
I exist.
Oh,
all right, nerds.
2.
You guys can fight over who turns it blue.
I'll let Valk do it. Unless she makes me do it.
No, Valk kind of does the prestidigitation thing, and while it turns blue, you can kind of see swirls in the pattern of the blue that kind of looks like a spacey nebula.
Ooh.
And Valk kind of goes, huh, that's the second flower that I magicked into kind of an interesting pattern.
Does it not happen consciously then?
I would also like any of you who wants to, who are present for this, to make an intelligence check.
Sure.
Okay.
Check or save?
Check.
Same thing.
Okay.
14.
Well, no, my save is better than my check.
Fair. Hawk's not feeling very smart today. That's a 5.
Valk feels the smartest she has ever felt in her entire life. 18.
All right. Valkyria, you realize that odds are that Commander Stone will have noticed the disappearance of this sword. So if you start walking around in town with the sword on your person visible, might draw some unwanted attention.
I was going to say something about that before we went into town. Lish, do you have the bag of holding on you?
What for?
Don't want to exactly let Commander Stone know that I got the sword back. And should probably keep it hidden before we head into town for Hawk's errand.
He'll open up the bag for you to put it in.
Yeah. Just straight up cartoon physics for a moment.
Rattles it
I have
around
a
and breaks
question.
it upon the rocks.
I was gonna say, do you put it in a scabbard or anything before putting it in the bag of holding?
Does it not have a scabbard?
She stabbed it through the tree.
She didn't
It
leave
does not have
a
a scabbard.
scabbard.
Yeah, and Valk wouldn't have this scabbard, so I guess it's being a +2 sword and thus more resistant to damage.
One would
No,
hope.
I mean,
I'm worried about the bag of holding. Give me a second.
It should be okay. It was able to carry 500 pounds of rocks. It enters into a demi-plane. What is it gonna cut in a demi-plane? If you
I think
break
the
my
real
bag of holding,
question, the real question is, can you get it into the bag of holding without cutting the bag of holding? Like, as long as you can get it inside of the demi-plane, you're fine. But the question, yeah.
Give me a second. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna roll my winter dice. Okay.
If you break my bag,
luckily able to get it in without breaking the bag of holding and having all of its contents spill out onto the ground.
Maybe I should pick up a scabbard when we're in town. Or maybe a different town. Different town would be better. Anyway, let's go say hi to my mom and then we can head back out.
Right. So you head into town, make your way towards So It Seems. And lucky enough, your mom actually is in today. And when you guys enter, she just beams and runs over and gives you a big hug.
I would like to side note, that Hawk does have his mask back on right now.
Hey, Mama.
Oh, Valkyria, it's so good to see you again, and so soon too. What brings you back into town?
As I said, we would be coming back into town briefly in a few days. Unfortunately, it's kind of a stop and go, so I can't stay for long. I was hoping that you would be able to help my friend here with a project real quick.
Absolutely. What? And she turns towards you. Says, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Runa.
Nice to meet you too. My name's Hawk. I've heard plenty of good things about you. Mostly from her.
Very kind. What sort of project are you hoping to work on?
This right here. And he sort of pulls out the folded suit, holds it in front of her. I got this from theater's surplus, let's say. At least I think that's what it was. I was hoping that I could get some seamstress tips to fix it up a little.
Oh, well, I would be glad to make some alterations. What sort of alterations are you hoping for? Like, just making sure it fits properly, or are you hoping to stylize it a bit more with some embroidery or something?
I think it fits mostly fine right now. I'm mostly concerned about making sure it looks the best that it can. No split seams or anything.
All right. I would be glad to help out with that. And I will be glad to provide a discount because you're Valkyria's friend.
Well, it's too kind.
Are you comfortable with me making measurements?
Yeah, of course.
All right, right this way. And she kind of leads you to a stool where she starts to take your measurements and examine the clothes. And she says that she can probably get it all fixed up and looking nice, looking maybe a little less costumey and more fancy for about 13 gold pieces.
That's great. I will gladly make that payment. So let's see, that goes down from that to that. There.
All right.
It feels great having more than one digit of gold again.
What, done with your broke college student days?
Listen, they may return someday. Who knows?
Well, I mean, there's always next campaign. All right. Is there anything anyone else would like to accomplish while in town? And Runa says that she can get it fixed up like within the next couple of days.
Cool. We could probably stop by maybe like midweek or like 2 days before, a day or two before, to check on that then.
All right.
Well, you'll have to ask Lish about that one since he's the purveyor of rides.
Fair enough.
He's the only one with his driver's license.
He's the only one who's cleared to travel the mycelium network.
Demir's got her permanent pass. I'm not the only one. Yeah, Demir can get people around.
Well, true, but
You
she's
didn't
got
butter her up.
she's got wizard trimet.
To be fair to the rest of us, insurance is fucking expensive, okay? Not everyone
This is true.
has a sugar daddy that can fucking pay for their insurance and license. I'm just saying. I'm
Listen,
just saying.
If
To point out though that Zamir's sugar daddy can very easily be Tobias's sugar daddy. Like,
Yeah.
My
God,
daddy can
Tobias,
beat your
why
daddy in
don't
a
you-
fight.
Why don't you catch the favor of a really nice goddess? Maybe then you'll have a sugar mommy.
All right.
Valk's just bringing attention that an additional trip would be requiring a favor from Lish, since
I'm sure they could work something out.
trying to be a better person to them.
Okay. So you have about a week before the masquerade ball. I am going to say we're going to handle this as a montage for a couple reasons. Firstly, to make sure that everyone gets everything done that they want to get done. Secondly, because people are losing power left and right, and I want to make sure that we're able to get the things done.
True.
Even if we end up calling session early, I'd want everyone to be safe. So
for when Levy wants to take Toby ring shopping, because I know that's something that Felix really wanted to get done. Demir will offer to go with, but like, you know, it's the like, do you want me to come or I can stay here in bed? Like, I'm very cozy here, so.
Maybe we'll look to Toby.
Tobias looks between them and he's like, honestly, I have no clue about rings.
Well, I mean, we can just find something that you really like and would want to wear. I mean, that was kind of the goal, was to just find something that you really like and would want to wear on that particular finger.
True. I suppose we'll be fine. We'll make it a surprise for
find-
Demir.
Oh, okay.
Keep you guessing. Make you wonder what we're gonna pick.
Oh, you're just going to tease me then. I see.
Well, it seems you were right enough in bed, so.
Do you want Levy to blue screen again? Because I can yell again. Not that I really want to.
Demir is just utterly delighted, just gives Toby the biggest of smooches. And like when they're getting out of bed, she has absolutely given both of their butts a good old smack and telling them to have fun.
Oh, the good game. The good game butt smack. Levy like yelps and then scuttles off, giggling to her and Toby's room to go get dressed.
Tobias will go get dressed as well, and then they can go out ring shopping, and Tobias can scrounge up the last couple things he needs for his costume.
Yeah.
We pull up the prices for the jewelry shop again. Now I seem to recall. No, you were looking at azurite for your own jewelry. What color are you looking for the wedding ring?
I don't know. What does Toby want?
I imagine Tobias would probably go for a much more simple ring, either just like a metal band, If he was to have a little bit of color to it / more than just a simple metal band, it would probably be, I don't know how to describe it other than similar to my dad's old wedding ring, where it's like it's one single band, but it looks like it's made out of 3. So there's like a ring of gold, a ring of silver, and then a ring of gold. Although for Tobias's, I'd imagine silver or steel, some kind of green, and then silver
like
steel.
like a couple little inlaid stones.
So
either inlaid stones or just green coloring in a band.
You're able to find a ring similar to what you're describing. It does not have 3 colors of metal, but it looks like it is braided. It is a braided ring of kind of a silvery metal with a chunk of a little small subtle chunk of malachite on it.
Even better!
Yippee!
Yippee!
You're able to find matching rings.
Yeah, I mean, Lady will go for something just a little more dainty, but nothing like too fragile, I guess. Nothing that's gonna easily like get lost or break while on the road, I think. Maybe just like a thinner band with only like one kind of metal and then some similar like engraving on it or something.
Yeah.
Similar inlay.
You were able to find a ring that looks similar. It's a little more dainty, and the shade of silver is a little bit lighter in comparison to Tobias's. And this one has a moonstone inlay. Very small, subtle, just enough to kind of catch the eye and be shiny.
Nice. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Yeah. Matches, but like still each other's own stylings. I like it.
And I'm just gonna do a quick thing of pictures just so we can feel the vibes, you know?
Nice.
Look nice together.
Yes.
All right. So let me do some more math. Just a second.
Also, Toby, if Toby starts pulling out his fucking wallet, Levy gently like puts one of her hands over his and puts his wallet back in his pocket like, no.
I just imagine he goes to pull out his coin purse and then Levy just pushes back and he's just like, huh? But oh, okay.
She's just looking at him like dead in the eyes, just super intensely, like, I'm paying for this.
In each eye is reflected the word I'm, the other one reflecting paying.
Mm-hmm.
About 150 gold pieces for both of the rings.
Both of them together, yes.
Both of them together.
Excellent. So 150?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. She forks that over. Easy peasy.
Cool. You now have wedding rings. If you want to get them enchanted, you'll have to go somewhere else, but they look pretty nice.
I mean, they're engagement rings, but yes.
Yeah.
Listen, she's gonna have an actual ceremony and everything if Toby's willing. But
all right.
when they have the rings, the first thing Tobias does before they do anything else is standing off to the side, moving out of the way of like people's traffic and things. He'll pull out his sending stone and send a message to Oafsy saying, "Hey, Dad. Levy proposed to me. I'll tell you when ceremony is."
You immediately get a response back of Oafsy saying, "Oh, Tobias, I'm so happy for you. I'll have to attend the wedding, of course. And do I need to give her a shovel talk? Or are you good?"
Tobias will have to respond to that tomorrow since he's only able to give one response at a thing. I just imagine Oafsy, like, when he hears Tobias say, like, "Hey, Dad, I'm getting married," he's, like, in the middle of, like, either playing cards with friends or whatever and stuff, and he just fucking, like, gets up from where he's sitting and goes, "Yes! Yes!"
Yeah,
and, like, punches his fist in
there's-
the air, and everyone's like, "What's going on?" He goes, "Yes! My boy! My boy!"
There's just absolute pride and joy in his voice.
It's also just imagine, like, he hears it, steps away from the table, like, responds to the message. Everyone's like, "Everything okay?" And he's like, "That was my son Tobias. He's getting married," and the whole everyone in the room just starts cheering. They're like, "Yeah!"
I also like to imagine that, like, when Tobias is like, "Dad, I'm engaged," he has this, like, a hot second where he's like, "Okay, to which one?"
He's like, "Which one?"
Clearly the robot.
I love that. I love the juxtaposition of Oxy asking if he needs to give Levy a shovel talk against, like, not only Toby being like, "Am I good enough for my dad?" but also, like, Levy kind of sort of, like, is forcing Volk to apologize. making Toby and Volk hash it out like she's not the one who would be giving a shovel talk.
Levy looking at Val. "Now you see here, you'll be nice to my boy, to my man.
No, for real.
You better be nice to my man, or we will have problems."
Legitimately,
Literally,
yes.
anyone comes for Tobias and the knives are out.
the like ozone starts like permeating the atmosphere immediately. Like there's some magic popping up already. She's like a battery.
No. Knives are too quick of a death for anyone who comes after our boy Toby.
Real.
All right. So just going down
that horrible freezing spell.
Just going down the list here. Tobias, do you want to hunt for a fur pelt or do you want to buy one?
He'll probably check town first just to see if there is one available, because it has to. I mean, technically, it wouldn't be hard, or he would be willing to if there was like. Because I'm trying to think of how many would need to cover like the top part of the cloak that he would be using with his outfit. At least if there's a deer pelt and a wolf pelt.
I'll tell you what, roll an investigation check.
Okay. Do investigation. Oh boy, Tobias, you have a +7. Don't fuck this up. That's pretty pog. He got a 25.
All right, you are able to find a shop that has what you need. There is a wolf skin with dark fur that has been fashioned into a cloak already, kind of like Princess Mononoke style.
Oh, that's perfect.
And then there is a deer leather cloak that you can also acquire. But the wolf, it seems like it's pretty big. It looks like it came from a dire wolf.
Tobias will go for the wolf pelt cloak. That one will work better.
All right. So that would be 15 gold pieces.
Yep. I will mark that down.
All right. And you said you also wanted some antlers.
Yeah, because theoretically you could carve them out, but he would need a large piece of wood to do that, and it would take a lot of time. I imagine it wouldn't be that hard to find just a pair of deer antlers in town.
Say two gold pieces. They're not they're not like big, but they're comfortable enough that you could fashion them to the mask you're working on and wear them on your head.
Fantastic. And I guess the last thing he needs, well, he can just carve the wolf mask one. Yeah, so that's fine.
So I will say, since you're taking a week to do this, you can take 20 if you want and just take your time and really work on it and have the mask look exactly like you want.
Yeah, that works for me. He'll work hard on that and attaching the wolf mask to the cloak itself, like the drawing I sent you ages ago.
Cool. And then same thing for you, Hawk. If you want to really just spend your week taking the time to make sure that your new mask is exactly how you want it, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, I think I will. I think the idea is pretty much an exact shape and form copy of the one he's been using. But for the sake of the masquerade, the sake of flair, he'll take some time, especially since it won't take very long to get the shape down, to get some engravings along the edges, like the lower cheekbone edges almost of the mask, with a slight sort of bird motif, I think.
Cool.
Carved in wings of feathers and such.
All right. Sweet. Erin, what are you doing this week?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, did anyone lay claim to the broken horn mask Demir picked up?
No, I don't believe so. There's also a purple blazer and a kind of bluish dress.
All right. Well, I think he'll put in for probably just the mask, I think. If no one else needs it.
Is Erin going to track down Lish for it?
Yeah.
Perfect. All according to plan.
All according to Keikaku.
Falling into my trap card. Yeah, so you're gonna go.
I was
find
actually
Lish
having Erin. Oh, sorry. I was actually going to have Erin go up and be asking Lish for a different thing entirely, but we can roll these things together.
Great,
we ball.
Yeah, so he'll probably be in the gardening nursery, and he's gonna be planting his saplings into pots that he has. He's got 3 saplings, pink tree, silverleaf tree and dream fruit tree saplings, I believe, are the three he has. So he's putting them in a little pots, and he's working with our ghostly house mom to he's telling her keep an eye on these, make sure that they aren't seducing the children into dreams and or deathly tree slumbers. And she's just like, I'm sure. Like, why are you planting these in my fucking house?
I mean, she's happy to have things be growing in the greenhouse again.
Mm-hmm.
I think
he's a little wary that these are dangerous.
Yeah. I think Aaron will just, saddle up, and Lish has a absurdly high passive. So, he'll be able to tell Aaron's coming up. Just like making the place a bit more like home.
A bit more like home. We don't have all of these trees in the Feywild, but perhaps they will be fun additions at some point.
And here, can I roll to see if I can identify that he's planting the dream tree?
Yeah, roll a nature check or arcana check.
Okay. Ooh, that is not great. Do I have the proficiency in nature? I really should. That's 12.
Lish has got some weird trees. They look kind of familiar, but you don't know exactly where they came from.
I mean, one of them is like a pastel pink, so you could probably suppose at least that one is.
Yeah. He'll I don't think he'll say anything specifically in reference to that. He'll just kind of, look over them and very obviously be appraising what kind of trees Lish has got out here. Well, I do have a favor or two, or maybe three, but probably just two.
Yes.
To ask of you if you've got a moment.
For you, Aaron, I have many moments.
That is a fully in character laugh. Aaron busts out for a sec. All right, I suppose so. First of all, I've wanted to ask if anyone has laid claim to the I know one of the didn't you like show off the stuff that they've gotten?
Yeah, he told everybody what he found at the theater performance company. He told everybody at the jewelry shop, and then he would send it to other people when he got home.
All right, good. Then this works in character. Yeah, so be like, I wanted to ask if anyone else has laid claim to the horn mask.
No,
And
unless you would like to.
Yeah, are you willing to part with it?
I got them to disperse, so.
And he'll brighten up, and say, "Ooh, lovely," and then he'll lean in conspiratorially and say, "Because I have plans."
Oh, do you now? And what might those be?
And he'll just chuckle, and put on a big grin, and it's clear he has no plans of telling you.
Lish will laugh and he'll kind of brush the dirt off of his hands. And what was the second thing?
Yeah, and I wanted to just ask if I can count on your help, day of in well, getting me some nice floral accompaniments.
Oh, such as?
And I think this one he will tell Lish. So he'll lean in again and say, well, don't tell anyone else. But I am commissioning some thorn and bramble type accessories that I
Oh.
think that I think would really be improved by some actual roses weaved through them.
I think that would be lovely.
Thanks, I'm really excited about it.
Are you planning on wearing your one gown, or are you commissioning something in particular to go with this?
And then he'll lean back and go back to his I don't know, secretive effect, and say, I actually have something I've been saving.
My, you are being awfully coy. One might think you've got a bunch of secrets going on.
No, you know all of my ill secrets, but I like to
I'm not
I
sure
like to
about
picture
that, but
well, and then he'll lean back in and say, I don't know if Demir told you, but I do think I might have intentionally talked to Arnold the other day. The hopefully real one.
Truly.
Yeah, I don't know, I think I'm ready to try to figure out what I don't know what that side of just like can mean to me now, and like forge my own relationship with it,
And you're sure that you can trust it?
No, not at all. But I want to see, I guess, but I want to figure out if I can.
Just as long as it's you driving the ship, Aaron, and not them.
He'll nod, and say, I'm not, I don't know, I'm not gonna get any promises, I guess, that I don't plan on keeping.
Lish looks up, his brow furrows a little bit in worry at hearing that.
Yeah. And Aaron will just, I guess, just sit with that moment for a sec. And then lean back. And say, anyways, I would be happy to pay you. And then he's going to stick out his hand. And you can see he's got just a little bit of like, you can tell they're like test drawings he's been doing on the back of his hand of like billowing white smoke, with his marvelous pigment, so it's moving around, and he'll say, if you need any well tinted fists painting on anything you've got going, I would be happy to pay you back in kind.
Well, we'll have to see how the tailor does with the design that I've given them. If it needs any flair, I will be sure to reach out.
Yeah. Don't hesitate.
I did have something that I found that I wanted to see if you would be interested in.
Oh,
It's got some possibility to it that perhaps will interest you. And he goes and he rummages through his bag of holding. And first he pulls out the mask for you and he's just like, oh, here's this. And then he sets it to the side where on the little plant bed is and continues to dig. And he pulls out just this tiny, kind of small jar compact and kind of places it in his palm for Aaron to see.
ooh. Yeah, I mean he's gonna investigate it.
This is a balm that is made from a plant in the Feywild. And it does wonders on decreasing or removing scars on the body. I was curious if this was something that you would be interested in. I don't know if there will be enough of this dose to help you with everything, but I could tinker with it, see if I couldn't backdate it, as it were, to the tree that it was and produce more, perhaps.
Oh. Oh. Wow. Um Aaron is very taken aback. Um this is this is not something he's really, thought was an option. And so not something he's really thought about much. It's like that goodness, that is tremendously good of you. Wow. And then he'll just like starelish, pull on in the face. Um um and say, I is it okay if I'm not sure what my answer is now?
Well, you can have it, Aaron. It's just if you would like for me to try and produce more, I would just need to take probably some of it to try and produce a plant, produce a sapling. So if you'd like to hold on to it and determine what you would like to do or for me to do, I have no use of it. So he'll kind of just hold his hand out to Aaron with the jar.
Yeah, he'll take it and he'll take it, two-handed and kind of like cradle it down, and he's just gonna just turn his head down and stare at it, and he's just got like a really sort of quizzical, thoughtful kind of look on his face. And I think he'll open up the front pocket on his overalls, and just drop it in there. So there's just like a noticeable, just little like bulge right out on his chest.
That's his arc reactor.
Exactly. Well, oh my goodness. Ah, God, you're such a good friend.
Lish will just kind of smile fondly at you. And this is, well, just let me know if you'd like me to do anything. Otherwise, anyways, I just wanted you to have it. It's doing no good sitting in my purse.
Oh. And he'll snort and say, I suppose so. Hope it stays that way, I guess.
Well, Lish will kind of he'll pick up the mask though, and he'll hand it to Aaron where he set it to the side, and it's like, you should try this on, see if it fits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I suppose I should. And he'll he'll tie it up. He'll tilt his head at a variety of angles for Lish to inspect it, and say, how do you think it's looking?
Well, I think it could use a little bit more artistry with it, which I think that you will add your own flair to. Thorns and roses, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I look forward to seeing
it. Thank you. I've certainly got ideas. And as his face is real, bright and cheery, and I mean, he's being a little efficient and devilish and not telling Lish what his plans are. But as you're, very specifically investigating, like, what the mask looks like, and therefore what his eyes slightly behind it look like. It's very clear that he's like starting to tear up and like actively trying to not cry right now.
Oh. Lish just kind of smiles and kind of reaches out and like holds Aaron's arm. Not quite sure. Aaron wants a hug or something.
And he'll take it and he'll squeeze it. And I think, he'll stay like close to Lish, but I don't think he's going to go in for anything himself. And once the moment starts becoming awkward, I guess, he'll say, do you need any help with the gardening?
Well, would you like to see what I'm up to? And he'll kind of squeeze Aaron's arm once more, but he'll let you go and turn towards the gardening bed, kind of gesture for you to take a look, and he'll tell you all about his thoughts about these saplings and how he's not quite sure if the silverleaf sapling is like the mother tree and will kill things when it gets older, but he's interested in seeing kind of what happens.
Aaron will nod along, and excitedly, be questioning him and stuff. And you can also see he's like taking down a mental note, like, okay, Okay. Make sure no one gets killed by our trees.
Well, I'm making sure that is it as Esme is the ghost lady. I'm making sure that Esme will keep an eye out. Just make sure that none of the children stumble in here and find themselves at the wrong end of a strange plant. She's very experienced in these sorts of things, you know.
Yeah. I trust her with that. And he'll smile over at her.
Yeah, I think he's taken a bit of time to kind of organize things in the greenhouse too. Like he and Esme kind of putting their heads together and just kind of making things a little bit more usable. She's tried to do some of it, I think, but ghost hands can't do much.
Yeah, ghost hands can't do much, but lucky for you, you can read lips, so she can kind of. You have the easiest time communicating with her.
Yeah. So Lish will just give you a little introduction to the greenhouse, how he's kind of mucking about.
Yeah, Aaron's fascinated.
All right. Demir, what do you do during this week?
Sorry, hang on one sec. Okay, so Demir is going to, when Lish is away in Aira, going to sneak back into the jeweler's shop. And she had already pulled out like some of her jewelry and stuff before, so she is going to talk to the jeweler about modifying a ring, making it a little bigger and like adding a little like adding some details that Demir wants in it.
All right. Well, resizing jewelry is no issue. Are you thinking that you want to have a like a gem added or anything?
No, probably not anything added. But or not like a gem added, but maybe like some like silver or gold inlay to be added.
Okay. Let me see. It'd probably be well, are you thinking like a ring or a necklace?
A ring.
Ring. Okay. So to have gold and stuff added, that would be 3 gold pieces, and then to have the various jewelries resized, that's 10 gold pieces.
Okay, yeah, she'll happily pay that. Just add it to her tab.
Cool.
So that's what she wanted to do for that. I don't know if she has anything specifically during the like kind of nope, she does. I'm sorry, I'm remembering. I don't have like most of my notes right now because the internet died. So she's going to scry on Barhasa.
Cool.
Just like to be like, hey, thank you for the invite. Like, have you found anything? Like, we'll see you there. But, you know, just like, is there any messages I need to urgently pass on, or do we need to visit you before we see you at the ball?
So, Barhasa tells you that she is not responsible for getting you an invitation, that when she inquired about it, one had already been sent out to you.
Oh.
She also says that she's been doing some research into Mistra. She had the most influence in the world during the Arcane era, but is considered to be one of the first 4 deities to have arrived on this planet. Mistra is believed to have several daughters, some of which may be celestials now. Oops, sorry, cat on keyboard. However, because of her general importance, Barhasa can, in fact, confirm that she does have her own dedicated quarter of the city of Alperin. And according to her resources, things have been strange in Alperin, and apparently the Temple to Mistra has been closed entirely.
Okay. Well, that's not great. Do they know, like, is it closed as in the clerics have closed it, or is it closed as in disappeared?
It has not disappeared to my knowledge, but the other temples associated with Mistra, more or less, within that quarter of the city have been rather hush-hush about it.
Well, I mean,
I more help. That was everything I could find.
No, that is very helpful. Thank you, as always, Barhasa.
Of course, I'm
Your
glad to help.
diligence is always appreciated.
Well, what's the point of living in a giant library if you don't make use of the books?
I suppose that's true. Was there anything else that anyone remembered that we needed to ask Barhasa about? Going once? Going twice?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Could always retcon once we get your notes and internet back.
Yeah, Demir is just going to then like be like, well, thank you so much, and we will see you at the ball. If there's anything else, I will be sure to reach out. And same for you, please.
Of course, I look forward to seeing you all there.
I can't wait to see your costume.
Well, it's not much of a costume, but I will be dressed up nice.
Well, it will be a show. All right. Then Demir will finish the scry. She's going to talk to her brain. Because I did find out its name. So Demir will talk to the brain, give it its name back, and basically it offer it that it can continue to stay here if that is what it desires, but that we are by no means holding it here, and is a free man, technically.
You get the impression that it's just glad to not be in a cage anymore, and it doesn't really matter where it is.
Then it is welcome to remain here, uncaged.
All right. So, the last. Anything else?
I don't think that there was anything else for Demir aside from like her costume, and I think being like hanging out with Lish, hanging out with Toby, hanging out with Levy, and just spending time with her babes.
All right. Cool. So, are there any final preparations folks would like to make before the masquerade?
Nope, just gotta pick up outfits, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, you pick up outfits, you get ready. I would assume that you acquire a place to stay somewhere in Avatic.
We certainly can.
Let me roll.
We do have our own place to stay anywhere we want to be, so
Might raise some questions if you set up a fortress in the middle of the city, but if you want actual beds,
Overrated.
remember, can we put things in the fortress and have them
Yes.
like compact
Well, it
down
won't-
with it?
No, yeah.
No.
You can put them in,
Oh.
but you have to take them back out.
Yeah. The text on the fortress, if I remember correctly, says that it spits out anything that's still inside it when it collapses.
Yeah.
Darn. Okay. Well, never
it's
mind.
not more
We might as well get an in-room or something.
Talking about here.
You might have to go to stay somewhere foofy. Just in case somebody's spying on us and going like, oh, those roses stayed in the commoner's tavern tonight.
Oh, what? You don't like the Dapper Drake?
I love the Dapper Drake,
I
but
love the Dapper Drake.
these high and mighty royal types might not appreciate the finer things in life, such as having a dragon in your tavern.
Honestly, we should just stay at the Dapper Drake. Demir is going to bring it up to the party that neither Aldrich nor Varhasa got us invites, that someone else sent it to us. Possibly the host.
Just our own notorieties going ahead of.
I would hope that it's positive notoriety more than negative.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend that this is a good thing and not a deeply ominous thing, since I'm tired of deeply ominous things.
Oh no,
I can
it's
imagine.
a very good thing.
I'll do your investigation for you, I suppose, because I'm curious.
I mean, can we get another look at the invites? Can Lish do like an investigation check on it, see if there's any like notes in there as far as who it came from, aside from just the palace?
Yeah, roll an investigation check. Drop this in the chat again. You want to look at it in real time.
That's a 13.
Thank you. I was trying to find it.
13? Not really. There's no indication it's from anyone in particular. It just looks like an invitation.
Oh. Sus.
Well, looking at it, it's someone who knew about us before I changed my last name back to Grace.
And they know I'm from Island, either way.
But they don't know Tobias's last name either. That's interesting.
Could be someone
They
who's.
don't know my last name either.
It could be someone who's only heard of us. It's
The
possible
one
that.
that's used here for me, that was what was used back at the arena.
Hmm.
Do you think it's maybe someone was in the crowd there then? Or maybe it's someone who's directly affiliated with it?
Maybe your
You don't
punchy
think it's
friend.
our friends, the Star Watchers, or
Hard to
whatever
say.
their name was.
It was the Stargazers. I'll remember.
Stargazers.
I put it down in his notes.
So it's someone who knows us well enough that they know Aaron's heritage and Levy's last name, but otherwise they're all are only semi true names.
Sorry, what?
It's a mystery.
Demir, you would know that you could probably ask around who was in charge of sending the invitation at the party itself.
Yeah, I mean, if it is still disturbing us, we can certainly try and find out how we got invited once we are there. And until then, I think we can assume that our hosts have heard of us.
And with that, in what we shall say is one of the rooms you've rented at the Dapper Drake, that's where we will call it for the day.
Yay! GG!
Woo!
Okay.
Ending on a
Masquerade
mystery to
time.
unravel everything. Let's go.
Thank you guys for playing.
Thank you for hosting.
It was super fun.
Thank you for DMing.
Looking
Much
forward to this
thanks.
weekend.
Yeah.
Or this coming
And
weekend.
next time, it's gonna be a two-parter.
Woo!
Playing in person.
Let's go.
Talking to nobles, which everyone loves doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That is
Woo.
literally what Demir and Lish are built for.
Let's
So-
go.
Thank God. One of us has to
Alright.
be.
It's okay. Hawk can be the walking curiosity that could carry him through the party.
With that, we'll see you next time.
Other
Stay
than
warm, y'all.
yeah,